And there's just people who want to see us burn.
Yep.
Some local hate.
They just wanted to give you some heartburn and make life hard a little bit.
Yeah, and don't you find it interesting that it's not like just some random person out there? It was an actual local.
Yeah.
Right? Because I would have had no idea. Because
they contacted the local BLM management, and they had to open up a full-scale investigation, and it's protocol that they had to go through everything, and they were watching all your videos and checking on your ranch, making sure you were following the rules. And
yeah, they looked at everything, not just the burros, huh?
And we're in action.
We're live, our first Donkey Tales podcast, boys.
Donkey Tales is the official name.
This has been a long time coming.
It has. We've been setting up forever now.
Yeah, like 2 months.
We've probably filmed 10 practice podcasts too, just getting ready for the real deal.
Yeah. Those have been fun.
They have been fun. We decided on Donkey Tales though, right?
Yeah, the comments was blowing that one up, and it just sounds good. It sticks.
Yeah,
Catchy.
people are going to remember it. Donkey Tales. Like Dragon Tales, but Donkey Tales.
Exactly.
And boy, do we have some tales to tell.
We do. Woo. Oh, man. So this is going to be our first podcast. It's an introduction to Bronx and Donks and how we set up all of our YouTube channels, Instagram, everything, like the backstory behind us. And I mean, should we get into some, what are they called?
Announcements first?
Yeah, let's get into some announcements before we start the podcast. So first off, we're looking for a new intern. We're always looking for a new intern. And the way to apply is DMing me on Instagram. Send me a 3-minute video of why you would make a good intern. And when we hired our first intern, we probably got 30 applications. So when you're sending us in a video, you got to really take your time, send us a good video, and make yourself stand out from everybody else. What other announcements we got? We got the Arizona Strip Series. It's coming out. We've got the second video coming out this Sunday. So by the time this podcast is posted, it'll probably be on YouTube. Go check it out. That was a crazy adventure we went on down there. We were just roping cattle on the Arizona Strip and branding them.
Yep. They were pretty wild too. It was a lot of fun.
I'm going to pause this really fast because your batteries are on the table right there by your hand.
That's all right. We'll just throw them off. We're still setting up the studio. As you can see, our sign, we wanted it a little higher than what it's at. And we're probably going to put some trim on the top of this board. Our soundproof wall right here isn't completely done. But our podcast studio is set up enough that we can start recording, and we just wanted to get some content your ways. Daniel, am I boring you over there?
No.
Why are you on your phone, man? We're filming a podcast.
Boys.
Are we boring you at home?
Listen to this. Bye, Joe. Just got attacked by a bunch of protesters about riding Bronx at the rodeo.
Oh, jeez.
No way.
Some guy in the green mohawk. That's what I was just reading
The
about.
green mohawk.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always
Like, did he get full on attacked?
Like
did
he got
he get
punched
beat
in the
up?
face?
I don't know. I don't know the details. That's what I was just reading.
All right, well, we'll read it. You could read it. Let's read it.
Yeah.
There's this picture of all these protesters.
We'll pull it up on the screen so you guys can see.
And there's this guy with a mohawk and a megaphone and all these people around, like, the semis that they bring in livestock with.
Uh-huh.
He's going, rodeos abuse animals, suffering pain. Yeah.
And this is Daniel's brother-in-law we're talking about.
And
Was it a small local rodeo or what was it?
So it was in Draper, Utah.
Oh, okay. Pro rodeo?
Semi-pro, I believe.
Semi-pro?
And
Dang.
yeah.
What did he... Is he the one texting you about it?
No, it's Kirk and Misty.
Oh, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's funny.
We get a lot of protesters on our channel, just down in the comments below.
Some mini protests.
It's crazy what people are passionate about, I guess.
Speaking of haters...
What the f*** is funny about that?
That's probably,
we got
what they were saying to Byron.
Yeah, probably.
Exactly.
Yeah, you guys... All right, we chose some fantastic sound bites here. It's... We're not going to plug her, but that's not her real name. We don't know what her real name is. But she made a whole video on us explaining why we should end our bloodline. I'll roll that right now.
I hope that you guys never reproduce. You should just end your bloodline right now.
Definitely too late.
We
for
definitely
that.
didn't listen to her.
Yeah, that's an actual clip out of a video she made of us. She said that to us.
Yeah.
So now we use it as our soundbite.
And it was to the nicest kid in the whole group.
Yeah,
That doesn't talk or do anything. He's the one that got
sweetest
slammed. So it just shows how little Little she knew about us.
Okay, so our last announcement is Malibu is sold, for those of you wondering. Actually, she was sold in the first half hour we posted her, and we had a ton of calls on her. Pretty crazy.
She was a good mule. She's going to a good home. That's for sure.
Yeah, she's heading to Oregon. But anyways, let's just get right into it.
All right.
Let's
All
start
right.
with the beginning of Bronx and Donks. And to start with the beginning of Bronx and Donks, we have to go back a long time ago.
Way back.
Good old.
The high school days.
Yep. It was
Senior
actually, my senior year of high school. And I think it's important we start here because that's kind of where it all began. I don't think if I would have got, we'll get into it. But if it didn't turn out the way it did, I don't think any of us would be here right now. And there's a good chance not a lot of us would actually have ever done rodeo or anything.
Yeah. Or I probably wouldn't have met my wife.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
be married to you right now, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Like,
Brett would
There's no
still just be
way.
doing Brett things, but
Bret would be in prison.
I'd be bumming around.
Brett would be a little bum, little
yes.
beach bum out in California.
Yes, he has
Probably.
already been arrested, but we'll get into that another time.
Yeah. I would say your injury probably got the whole family into rodeo. We had owned a family ranch before, but it was kind of like a hobby side thing for us. But
yeah, we
still,
always rode horses.
Yeah.
We
always rode horses.
We had walking horses.
I mean, not all
I
of
had
us.
Billy, the greatest horse ever. I love that
Yeah.
horse.
We had a lot of just whatever you'd ride on the ranch kind of horse.
Yeah.
Not a lot of rodeo horses.
Kind of were just
And
Trail
probably,
riders.
we had no mules. I think before
Festus.
my high school days, we had 2 mules and they didn't stay around very long.
Yep.
But yeah, so Brett was talking about an injury. Kind of what the deal was is I was huge into football, and that was kind of my life. I centered all my hobbies around football. Daniel was really big into
Yep.
football too. We just love sports, and rodeo was a second thought for us. We never really competed in anything. Never even planned on joining a rodeo team or anything. So, come my high school senior year, right before the football season started, I ruptured my spleen. And I didn't just rupture it, I blew it up. I was out for the whole season. What had happened is I landed on a football, and the football shot up under my rib cage and just shattered my spleen. And it was really disheartening because I would have to sit my whole senior year out of football. I couldn't play at all my senior year.
And you'd work hard.
Yeah.
Practices, you worked your way up on the totem pole. You were the top man.
I was the head captain of my senior team.
The main go-to running back.
And it just sucked. I was down in the dumps. I didn't even go to any of the games that year because I didn't want to watch him play. It was too sad to see him play. And I had a couple buddies come up to me and they're like, "Hey, think you could team rope? That's not you're not going to hurt your spleen doing that." So I got into team roping and I focused all of my attention on that. I kind of switched gears from football to team roping. And when I graduated, I applied to be on the local community college rodeo team. And that's where I met my wife, Brittnee, here. And Daniel ended up going to college with us there too. And that kind of kicked Bronx and Donks into gear. I mean, because of college rodeo, I had horse stalls. And probably the biggest thing was my dad told me, "Hey, look, when I was in college, I had to work some minimum wage job. I was lifting furniture, breaking my back, and then I'd have to go do homework afterwards. And I could barely get by doing that. It sucked." So he told me there's got to be a better way to do it. And probably the best way to do that is become an entrepreneur. So my plan was I got a couple mules to break. And the reason I chose mules to break is because they are more available than horses. You could get paid more to break mules because everybody and their dog in today's world is a horse trainer.
Yeah.
But hardly anybody will touch mules. Breaking mules pays more, and I had a stall from the college rodeo team that I could keep mules in. And that kind of got everything going. Daniel, you were with me at this time, and when I started training these mules, we had to find a way to market them. And the best way we could think was all these guys are asking questions about my mules and wondering what they can do. So why not record what they can do and send it to them? Well, that wasn't super efficient because then you have to send a text message out to every single person curious about your mule training skills or interested in buying a mule. So we got this idea, let's just start a YouTube channel so we can just share a link with everybody. And then on our ads we'd post online, we could just link our YouTube videos to that ad. And Daniel, you were there with me weren't you, when we created the channel?
Yeah, I was there, and it was super fun. Like, Tyler texted me, and he's like, hey, I got to market these mules. Let's go for a ride. I was like, okay. And we basically went out and just found, like, super sweet cliffs and rocks to just jump off of.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I remember just I remember it was definitely filmed on my iPhone 5.
Yeah.
I remember just laying in the dirt trying to get good angles for you guys, and
yeah, we were all pretty inexperienced about what looked good,
yeah.
the lighting, and
Our first video sucked. They were terrible. They were
insert
so
clip
bad.
here.
They're still on YouTube too. You can go look at them.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was super fun though. Like, we went out, we just had a good time filming videos, and then we just put it on YouTube.
Yeah, and even though those videos sucked, they still worked. Like, after we started making videos on them, we started selling mules, and we got a lot of mules in that people wanted us to train.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was probably the best decision we made when it came to breaking and training mules, selling mules. Like that, I think everything beyond that point was centered around our YouTube channel.
And it totally expanded your market, because before you had KSL, Facebook, but that was only bound to the people you knew and Utah.
Yeah.
But then you post on YouTube, and
The whole
people
world
from
could see.
Wyoming and California and Oregon. And
So, yeah, those first videos sucked, and we needed to figure out a way to change it up a little bit. We had a buddy that went to college with us, and he had all these great ideas for the channel, but a lot of them were over the top, and we did listen to some of it, his advice,
well,
though.
he believed that in another life he was supposed to be like a movie director. Like,
Yeah.
he full on believed it. He made a video in high school. It was terrible.
Yeah, it was like one of those dare projects where
Yeah.
you have to film
Oh,
like
yeah.
drugs are bad, and he actually took second place in the whatever division he entered, but it was funny. He loves making videos though,
Yeah.
and so he had all these great ideas for us. I mean, one of his advice, like a big advice we followed from him, was make it more personal, talk to the camera more, make your videos a little longer, explain what you're doing. And I posted my first ranching vlog a couple weeks after I took his advice. And I'm pretty sure that was my first big video. Put me in the books as being a YouTuber. And that video was actually me getting bucked off. And we still just had iPhones at the time. It was Brittnee's iPhone.
The
and we
walk of shame.
It was the first video was a walk of shame. The first video was. And,
I knew you had one on there somewhere.
the first ranch vlog, I should say.
Yeah.
But at the time, we still had Brittnee's iPhone, and I bought a golden camcorder, like $100 off Amazon or something, a super cheap camera. I was like,
We're like, oh, it shoots in 4K, so let's
Yeah.
do this.
and it was crappy.
It's not
It was so
4K.
bad. It was like the kind of camera you see soccer moms recording their kids
Yeah.
playing Little League on. Those kind of cameras.
Yeah,
Like-
it opens up on the side.
Yeah, like back in 2005 when they were big.
back at the elementary school plays.
Yeah, one of those.
America's Funniest Home Video Cameras.
Yeah, exactly.
exactly that.
Yep. And, you know, while we were filming these videos, after that first video that blew up, the first ranching vlog, it kind of dawned on me like, hey, you know what? People are kind of interested in this. I wonder if there's a future in making videos like this, like maybe something beyond just selling mules. Because people were actually interested in like what was going on the ranch. And the gears started turning in my head, but obviously my main priority was still going to school. I wanted to become a veterinarian. So, you know, we didn't pay too much attention to the YouTube other than making money to enter rodeos and pay for McDonald's and go to school.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of McDonald's too.
That's all you had over
Like-
there, wasn't
like
it?
twice
Was
a
just
day.
McDonald's.
Twice a day. Yeah.
There's a McDonald's. These guys are hitting it.
Yeah, you got to talk into the mic a little more.
Oh, if there's a McDonald's, these guys are hitting it.
Yeah.
That's right.
So,
Sponsor us, McDonald's.
yeah.
Shameless.
After I posted a couple ranching vlogs, it didn't take me long to, you know, consider buying better camera gear. There was definitely a need for it. And we debated on like what we were going to buy. Like at the time, what we record on now is GoPros, but at the time it wasn't super obvious that that's what we were going to do. And the stabilization on the GoPros was fairly new. Like it just barely come out, and we'd never really heard of it before. So
yeah,
like,
it was in the newest GoPro, most expensive, and that's
Yeah.
we're like, oh, is this really gonna be what we need?
Yeah, I considered buying like a gimbal for a camera and just riding with the gimbal. Or there was a couple other like products from DJI that looked good. And we debated it for a long time. And we finally were like, let's just get a GoPro. We'll see. You can put it on your head. The angle might look cool. You can use your hands when you're riding. So we bought the newest GoPro with the stabilization in it. And I think that was a game changer for our channel.
Was a game changer.
Yeah, definitely.
Took all your sheds too. You sold all your sheds
Yeah.
to pay for it. And I remember you were sad about that.
Yeah,
You came home and was like, I might have regretted this decision, but I pulled the trigger.
Yeah, it's sad. Like, he's talking about my elk sheds. You can see a couple on the table here. Obviously, I kept a couple of my bigger ones, but I had a big pile and I sold them all. Like, the camera was pretty expensive when it first came out.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
and we were just young, first married college kids, didn't have a lot of money, but we could just see this potential and see the potential in the channel. So we
Yeah.
took the plunge.
Yeah, we went all in. And so after we bought this GoPro, I think I filmed 1 or 2 videos with it, and then we took off for Wyoming. We went to go work on a ranch one summer in between school years. And this ranch was it was up in Wyoming, and it was on the border of Yellowstone. Really cool ranch. But while we were out there, we had no service. And the closest place you could get service was Cody, Wyoming. So you'd have to drive clear into Cody, which was a half hour to an hour drive away or something.
I think it was like an hour.
An hour
down the mountain.
And we didn't go into town much because we had all our groceries pretty much supplied for us. So there was just kind of one random day, probably a month into where I was working there, and we go into town, and my phone just starts blowing up with notifications. And before we left out there, I had 1,000 subscribers, and I just barely verified my channel and kind of made it legit. And when I'd gone into town in Cody, I looked down at my phone and we had 10,000 subscribers. And then I had like hundreds of thousands of views on my videos, and it blew our mind. Like, it was insane. We were freaking out. We were so excited because it was so hard to get to that first 1,000 subs. We'd worked so hard and long to do it.
Took about a year or more.
Yeah,
Get
I was
to
getting
that first.
all my friends to subscribe. I was telling you guys to have all your friends subscribe.
Yep.
We were just pushing it on the street.
Anybody
like, hey,
we
take a
talked
sub
to,
here. Take a
we'd
sub
be like,
here.
hey, we're on YouTube. Go check it out.
Yeah, and we would just push it so hard. And then, like, we'd get on all these Facebook groups and be like, we got a mule channel. Go check it out.
I remember, even when like KSL ads, just like selling mules, we'd put it out there. Like, hey, we have a mule channel. Go check it out. Or if you like mules, go watch our channel.
Yep. And then, obviously, all the classified ads we'd post, like, on the internet selling mules and advertising for mule training. We'd have our YouTube link there, too. So we were getting it out there, but it took us a long time to get there. So, like, when we came back into town and we'd got 10 times the amount of subscribers in like a month, at that point, I was like, okay, I think I could maybe actually be a YouTuber. This is insane. After we got done working on that ranch, we came home and immediately started just filming videos as best we could. And at the time, we still weren't very good at it. We were really new to it. When we started recording that summer, we didn't immediately just start recording ranching vlogs. And we didn't immediately know what to start posting. We didn't know the ranching vlogs were the solution. So we started posting like videos of Bone getting pulled on the wakeboard behind the mule.
Yep.
We posted more extreme mule riding videos.
Skijoring.
Like our first videos we posted. Skijoring. What other? We just posted a bunch.
The dartboard.
Dartboard.
Tried seeing if people would like just exploring random areas.
Yeah. So kind of our idea was, let's just post a bunch of different kinds of videos and see which ones do the best. And the mule ranching vlogs by far just did the best. Everybody was interested in like what we did on the ranch, because I think our operation's a lot different than most places. Because in the summertime, we're running our cows up on the mountain. In the wintertime, a lot of us run cows down on the desert. And, we're always having to drive cows up and down mountain ranges and everywhere. And it's not like that in a lot of places.
Yeah, and you can't really get a semi-truck and trailer into these places. So we're herding cows, we're pushing them. We're
through rough country.
Yep.
We kind of got in the groove of posting mule ranching vlogs, and those were doing really good for us. And I think my next big video that put us on the board again was I had a mule get loose named Penny, and we had to go find it and rope it. And that was my first video to hit 1 million views. And not only did it hit 1 million views, when I posted that, YouTube actually featured me on their Creator on the Rise page. So they featured me like on the home page of YouTube for 24 hours, which was huge at the time.
Huge.
Like, it was such a big shot in the arm for our channel. We grew, like, in that short time frame, I'm pretty sure like 10, 15,000 subs in just a day.
Yeah, and that video shot up to like 400K, which was kind of new because we just been getting like 100, 200, but it also shot up to 400K, and we were pumped.
Yeah, it was exciting. I remember at the time I was sitting in class and I was in lab doing something and my phone started going off. So like in the middle of lab, I snuck away and looked at it and I was super excited. And I'm pretty sure I left lab early that day. I was just like, I'm done with this. I'm going to check out my stats on YouTube.
I'm going to be a YouTuber now.
I was so pumped.
He texted me and he was pumped, and when he texted the family group chat and everyone was like, yeah,
Let's go.
we did it.
Yeah, well, it was actually my little cousin seen it on the YouTube homepage and texted me and I was like, oh, really? So that's how I found out about it. And then, yeah, my phone just went off all day. So
Yeah,
the
it's
next
about
big video
Casey.
was Navajo Nation.
Yeah.
And he was a friend. So Casey is a Navajo. I met him up at Logan in the school we were going to. He's Daniel and I's buddy.
Shout out Casey Singer.
Oh, yeah. He's a cool guy.
He is a
Awesome.
hand. He was in the Arizona Strip.
Yeah, he's in those
Video.
videos we're posting.
Yeah. And
He's
he
a
gets,
hand.
He gets the job done.
Yeah. So he just invited me to his house. He's like, hey, look, we got a burrow problem back home. And nobody would mind if you came and roped these things. And I was like, all right, well, let's set it up with your range manager, kind of the guy in charge down there over the burrows, and let's do this the right way.
And you did a quick interview with him, didn't you?
Yeah, he was interviewed in the video, and then the full interviews on your second channel.
Yep.
So, yeah, we went down there, roped wild burros, and then we turned them into the Navajo Nation. They're rangers, and they take them away and get them adopted. I'm pretty sure they turn them over to the BLM. But anyways, I posted a video on us doing that, and it was a crazy video, and that was my second video to hit 1 million views.
Yeah.
So those two videos, boom, boom, right in a row, got me a ton of views, and they got me like a loyal subscriber base. And I'd say at this time, I was getting closer to 50K. Or what do you think we were at the time?
Yeah, probably around that point.
And then somebody called you in for roping burrows on,
Oh, yeah. Let's
on
talk
Yeah.
about
this well.
We ran into our first problem with our channel.
We got some haters,
Yeah.
some local
So
haters.
explain the rules, Daniel.
So in Utah, on BLM land, you are not allowed to chase, rope, or pretty much interact with wild Mustangs or burros.
On any land, you're not allowed to do anything with them.
Yeah. So you're supposed to leave them alone. And so when Tyler posted this video, some locals were like, oh, he's from... He must have done this on the desert here.
Yeah.
And clearly, if you watch the video, you can see that we are not in the same terrain at all.
We roped burros in the middle of Shanto, in the middle of their town.
In the middle of Shanto,
Yeah.
Arizona, you can see
Right
us.
up by the post
You can
office.
you pan over a sign that says Shanto, Arizona. But
Yeah. Yeah, and then like obviously we have the range managers down there out with us, and like it's obviously we're in the Navajo Nation. There's just people who want to see us burn.
Yep.
some local hate.
They just wanted to give you
Yeah.
some heartburn and make life hard a little bit.
Yeah, and
Yeah, so
don't you
then-
find it interesting that it's not like just some random person out there? It was an actual local.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Yeah.
I would have had no idea.
Because they contacted the local BLM management, and they had to open up a full-scale investigation. And clearly they're like, yeah, there's nothing wrong here, but it's protocol that they had to go through everything, and they were watching all your videos
Yeah.
and checking on your ranch, making sure you were following the rules. And
Yeah, they looked at everything, not just the burros, huh?
yep.
Yeah, they went through everything.
And the reason we know this is because we know somebody who works in the office, and he just contacted me. And he's like, hey, just to let you know, we launched a full investigation on your channel, and we didn't find anything. But you were called in for this stuff, so be careful what you post in the future.
Yep.
So it was just interesting. Like, it kind of blew my mind, and it kind of scared me. And not that we were going to do anything wrong, but there's just so many rules involved. You never know when you would accidentally break a rule.
Yep.
Like, say we built a fire somewhere and you didn't put a ring around it, and in this place, it might be a $5,000 fine if you do that. Like something little like that. So we got really nervous about what we were going to post, and we're like, we don't want to get our cows taken away from us
Yeah,
or
because
anything.
it's not just the YouTube channel that was involved. We were all thinking it's everything that we have with our
It was
family.
our
That
livelihood that
Because
was
what we
on
there.
range on BLM, so it's like we could definitely get all of that just taken away.
Yeah, so it kind of made us weary about pursuing YouTube, and I kind of refocused everything back on school. At the time, we were still going to school, and YouTube was just still a way to sell mules, but it was something cool that was happening. Like, our YouTube channel was growing.
So
So,
a conversation starter at that time. We were like, yeah, it's pretty cool, but
yeah. But
Check me out on YouTube. I'm on the rise.
yeah. Actually, I didn't really even tell people I was a YouTuber once it started gaining traction, especially people at school. It was kind of almost a little embarrassing. I don't know. It's
Well,
just
I
so
think
hard
you
to put
just-
yourself out there.
Yeah.
Well, and it's hard to think that, I think, that you made it. Like, it's hard to be like, oh, yeah, I'm definitely on the rise. I'm doing good, when there's all these people around you that aren't doing that. So they don't understand it. And it's going to seem like, oh, okay, so you just do YouTube.
yeah.
Yeah, you
you
post
make
videos.
videos.
Yeah.
yeah,
Cool,
they-
bro.
You make YouTube videos?
You just-
Nice.
You just film all day and
If you
edit.
think about
Yeah.
those gamer channels that all those 12-year-olds have, they're like, yeah, I'm a YouTuber.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
very quick to judge, but man, I'd shamelessly plug it everywhere I went. I was like, check out Fox and Dog. I was just a little kid. I was kind of working with Tyler at the time, and I was just pumped, man.
Yeah.
I'd tell
It
everyone.
was pretty cool.
I'd be walking down campus with Tyler, and everybody would be looking over their shoulder, and you'd hear him whisper, "Is that the YouTube guy?"
Weirdo. Yeah, we did a school project once. Remember our equine class?
Yeah.
And we had to build a website for our fake business we were setting up for our class. And I built this whole website and added in a bunch of mule videos. And I was like actually really surprised. Everybody was super impressed by all those videos we had. And I was like, okay, maybe I kind of do have a talent here.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't know. I just kept that stuff to myself, because I think one of the hardest parts about starting a YouTube channel is you're putting yourself out there for like the whole world to judge and to watch. And like, it was hard. I didn't know what a lot of the locals would think about me. I wasn't too worried about strangers for some reason, but like a lot of people around here, I was like, I don't know. I just didn't feel comfortable posting it.
Well, and hearing yourself on camera is a whole different ballgame. Like, you feel like you're just saying the stupidest stuff, or you sound dumb when you say something, and it's
Yeah.
hard.
Well, and you're
It
thinking
is.
about all those people watching too. Like, you're gonna have 100,000 eyeballs looking at you, judging everything you're gonna say. So it's a little.
Well, my problem was, at the beginning, there wasn't 100,000 people watching. It was just our friends we were telling to follow
Yeah.
our channel. So it was hard just to have all
That's
your
true.
friends watch you be an idiot on camera.
It's still hard for me to be on camera because half the things I say are stupid. So now I got to watch myself because
Permanent intern.
Because Tyler loves to put it out on the YouTube channel about me, but I've just
no.
learned to just be myself.
I just post all the good things you should say. You should see all the bad things I cut out.
Whoopsies.
Whoopsies.
So we go back to school. YouTube kind of falls on the back burner because we're a little nervous about it. We don't think that it's really going to be our future, but we're wanting it to be, but it's definitely like, this might not be where we're headed.
School's still the
go
safe
back
choice.
to school. It's still the priority. YouTube falls to the back burner.
And I remember having a conversation with Tyler at this time, and I was like, "Man, why don't you just train mules and sell mules and do your YouTube all the time?" And he's like, "I don't know if I want to be riding colts for the rest of my life. It could be, what if I get hurt? How will I pay the bills?"
Yeah,
And,
it's a rough life to do that
yeah.
your whole life.
Yeah, it can be tough. So without having something else to bring in income, where you just got to tough up, I don't know.
Yeah.
And-
School was definitely the safe option still.
And you had a lot of pushback from just people around you. Like, I'm sure Grandpa and my parents were telling me, is like, is YouTube the safe way to go? And everyone was kind of giving
that was the
pushback that
hard
way.
thing. It was like, it's like at that point, you really had to make a decision because you're getting to the end of your bachelor's degree. You really needed to make a decision of like, all right, am I going to go to vet school? I know you're considering being a dentist as well, because those are ways that you could make money and make sure that you're for sure going to be able to provide. Whereas YouTube, no one's ever made it. No one we know had done it. So it's like nobody really had faith that was going to be something that would be sustainable.
Yeah, it's hard too, because the older generation, like my grandpa's generation, they were taught if you go to college, get a good degree, you're going to be set up better than anybody else. Yep. And that's going to be how you make your living. And then kind of it started changing by the time my dad came around in school. You know, there's only a couple jobs you could get and go, like, there's only a couple degrees you could get and liberal get good jobs from. Yeah. There's so many, like, wasted degrees out there you'd spend a ton of money on and not go anywhere. Yeah. So, like, he really pushed for me to be an entrepreneur. But at the same time, he's also like, being a vet and being a dentist, that
are
also
those
pays
good
really
options?
Good. Yeah.
Have a plan B. That's what everybody always told me. You got to have a plan B. Have a plan B.
Yeah. So,
I think we did a pretty good job at changing their minds now, though, because Grandpa is another shameless plugger. He'll tell everyone. He's like, and make sure to click on those ads. You
gotta watch the full ad. He tells everyone.
Don't you be skipping those ads now.
You gotta make him that 0.001 cents.
Yeah. So I think we've kind of changed our mind. So
yeah, like, okay, so we went back to school. At the time, I'd hit 100K subscribers, and it was coming to the end of my bachelor's degree where I needed to make a choice: apply for vet school or dentist school, or become a YouTuber, full-time mule trainer. And, you know, we weren't fully committed to each option. And then another big hiccup in our business came, and we got sued. And I think we'll probably do a full podcast on this later. I'm not sure how much we can talk about, but...
You did win the case, though.
I did win the case. I was in the right. We easily won the case.
Yes.
But it opened up my eyes to, like, people will sue you over anything, and especially a mule. They're live animals, and if they don't do what they wanted to do, it's your fault, and they're going to sue you.
Well, and the problem is they expect them to remember something that you taught it 2 years ago, but they haven't touched it for 2 years.
Can't let them sit in the pasture for 2 years and expect them to be what they were before.
They get on expecting them to remember every single thing that you taught them.
Yeah, and they admitted they hadn't rode it for over a year to 2 years.
Yep.
And they expected it to be kid broke when they immediately just jumped back on it.
Well, and it was just in a pasture.
Yeah, you can't expect a mule to be kid broke in 30 days or 60 days, however long I had it. So we won the case real easy, and it was just like, do I want to deal with people like this for the rest of my career? That was another thought, another thing I kind of put into consideration. But, you know, we weighed the pros and cons, and ultimately I wanted to be my own boss, and I wanted to have fun and go on these crazy adventures that we always go on. And I didn't really want to be stuck in a dentist office or be working full-time, busting my butt being a vet and making probably not as much money as I'd like to be making.
Uh-huh. I mean, you still kind of got an office job with all that editing you do, but at least it's something you like to do.
You don't have student loans.
No student loans.
No student loans.
So, yeah, we decided to just go full out. When COVID hit, wait, was that the same year?
Yep.
Yeah, COVID hit.
COVID hit, so we went home, and we just started recording and filming like crazy. And YouTube had a big boost in viewership when COVID hit because nobody had anything to do. They were all locked down in their houses. And my channel, like even all my older videos, started getting a lot of views. Yeah. So we just went full out. And then eventually we got an office at headquarters. Yeah. Hired Daniel for the second channel. He started editing the second channel. And we downloaded TikTok, Instagram, started posting on there. And interesting enough, like our very first videos, the kind of style of those videos where we'd go hop rocks on our mules and go down dirt slides, we started posting that kind of stuff to Instagram and TikTok, and that blew up those social media platforms. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a full circle. It's kind of funny how it happened. You know, what started us on YouTube ended up really helping our business later on, that style of videoing. Yep. And boosted it. Yeah, like, so Daniel now, he's kind of explain what you got going on in the second channel. Like, what videos are you posting on there?
So I do a lot of videos like that are a little bit shorter, that aren't long enough for the main channel, but where we go out and rope stray calves, or Bret's wreck, for instance. So go check that one out. Just basically the same stuff as the main channel, just more of it.
Yeah, so like on the main channel, we'll go to the Arizona Strip for a week, and I'll come back and post that on the main channel. But say we're heading just over the hill on a local ranch, and it's not going to quite make a full video on the main channel, but it's still great content. We got to put that somewhere, so we decided to put that kind of stuff on your channel. So there's still awesome videos. They're just not quite as long.
Yep. We also got a good pack trip that we're going to post on there where we went up the Rattlesnake and had some good time making TikToks and just having fun.
Yeah. And so, like, I mean, this whole podcast, we've been talking like we've made it. But I don't think we've made it yet. I think there's still just a huge future for Bronx and Donks. I think we're just getting started, really. I got big plans for us.
And I think there's just so much that we don't even know that's going to come about. You know, like as time has gone on, we've gotten into a lot of things that we never even knew were going to be part of Bronx and Donks. Like, you know, like the Cap Club. We got the Cap Club going on. We never foresaw selling a bunch of hats to everybody and having that be a huge part of Bronx and Donks. Yet here we are.
Yeah, we got a huge following on the Cap Club now.
Yeah. Well, and the saddle is awesome.
Yeah.
The saddle is super cool. The saddle maker seems super nice to work with and willing to do what it takes to get out saddles.
Yeah, and then these other brand deals we've landed, like I try really hard to land brand deals that align with Bronx and Donks, what we stand for. So we've got the canvas cutters, and I just love them. Their product fits so perfectly with what we do, and I'm just excited to see all the things that are going to come of Bronx and Donks. I think definitely our goal is to hit 1 million subs on the main channel, and our next goal for the second channel is to hit 100,000 subs.
Yep.
And I think that one is very obtainable in the near future.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially the last 2 videos we posted on there are doing awesome.
Yeah, and it's growing. So thanks to everybody who subscribed and supports us. It's great. Thank you.
Yeah. You guys got anything else? I wonder, would they be curious about anything else about Bronx and Donks?
Let's introduce ourselves.
All right, Bret.
Well, you introduced yourself.
Let's hear about Bret Olson.
All right. Well, my name's Bret Olson.
Well, that's all the time we got for today. Thank you. I'm just kidding.
Ouch. I was really treated like the intern right there.
Yeah. Real quickly, we mentioned at the beginning of the video, but we are still hiring interns. So if you want to go on all these crazy adventures with us, kind of learn how we run our business and get on some mules and horses and learn how to ranch, come down. It doesn't matter if you're not great at riding. We'll teach you how to. And if you are great at riding, even better. So send us a 3-minute video on my Instagram of why you would make a good intern. We're really wanting to get some of you guys out here, and we are planning on absorbing an intern or 2, hiring them full-time and taking them into the Bronx and Donks team. So it's a big possibility. If you get out here, we really like you, there's a good chance you get a job offering. So like I said, send us a video of why you'd make a good intern. Send it to my Instagram, Bronx and Donks.
Should I introduce myself now? Or should Daniel?
Are we still on that?
All right, Bret, introduce yourself.
Nah, it's good.
No, so kind of who I got surrounding me right here, I wanted to build a team that, you know, I think will grow Bronx and Donks. So I've absorbed a lot of my friends, and pretty much everybody here's family. Daniel and Bret are both my cousins. Bret started riding with me a couple years back. He got big into mules. He's big into mule training now. Daniel is big into horse training. He trains mules too.
Yep.
But yeah, Daniel was there when I created my YouTube channel. And then, we've recently hired him back on to film the second channel.
I kind of tried the college thing and went and got a degree, but Tyler was like, hey, man, I need somebody to make videos for me. Would you be willing to? And I was like, yeah, man, I'll come learn from you and help you grow your channel and film for you and do the whole thing.
Yeah. And then Bret, he's in a lot of my videos too. And he's actually going to start editing our podcast.
A man can't get any respect around here. It's really hard.
Permanent intern.
Permanent intern.
What the f*** is funny about that?
I always forget to use these. Hey, I promise you guys, this podcast was like on a more serious note, but most of them are going to be just a good time, having fun, being funny.
This is just so you can get to know us and what we're about and
where we came from. And
let's tell you guys all about Bronx and Donks. I know a lot of you ask questions, and so the point of our podcasts are to give you guys more context on some of our videos. There's only so much that can be said in like a 7-minute video on my main channel. So we wanted to talk it through with you guys, let you guys know, tell our funny stories that we don't catch on camera. For instance, our next one is going to be about Bret getting mucked out by Doug.
Yep.
And hey, spoiler alert.
Junk in the trunk.
There's gonna be a lot of roasting me.
He had to walk off the mountain without a sock on. We'll just leave it there.
Sometimes you just gotta ditch a sock.
So,
that's the first
hey
time.
guys, we'd really appreciate if you hit that like and subscribe button, especially that subscribe button. We're trying to grow this channel up, tell you guys our story, and that like and sub button goes a long ways in helping out an early channel. I know how it is growing those channels from 0 to 100,000 subs. So
you better mule kick that bell.
Mule kick that sub button, just like Doug did to Bret's face.
Yes, sir. Alrighty.
Oh, no. Daniel, where can we find you on socials?
So, of course, go over and subscribe to the Bronx and Donks Extended channel too. And then you can find me on Instagram at Dan Bronx and Donks and TikTok at Dan Bronx and Donks as well.
Brittnee, where can we find you?
All right, so you can find me on Instagram. I'm under the Ivory Cactus Boutique, and I also have a photography page where you can catch some pictures of these guys at Britt Olson Photo.
All right, Tyler, where can we find you at?
You can find me on the main channel, Bronx and Donks, on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
And don't forget the Thai Bronx and Donks.
Yeah, I got a personal page. I don't post on there a whole ton, though.
Better give that personal page a little love, though.
Yeah. For sure, though, if this is your first time watching, go check out our main channel, Bronx and Donks on YouTube. Brett?
Alrighty, you can find...
All right, that's all the time we got.
The joke was
You don't need
played
to
once
find
already.
Find a new joke.
You got enough for Brett. You don't need to find
What
it.
the f- is funny about that?
Dude, a man can't get any respect. But you can find me at Brett_Olson across all platforms.
What, man?
Okay.
You ain't a man.
Cross all platforms.
I don't even know what to say.
I don't, man. I just catch strays the whole time I talk. Every time I talk, they're just slinging them at me. I'm like, what did I do this? I'm sling.
You just set yourself up.
We just wait
I
to
don't
see
set
what's gonna
myself
come
up. I
out.
just try to like talk to you guys like, shut up.
We're like, Brett, why don't you
Okay,
talk?
we'll give you another
Just
plug.
throw it at
Plug
you.
your Instagram one more time, and then we'll leave it there.
Okay.
All right, that's all the time we got. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like and sub button.